Now the advertising company went one step further. They said, why not get Bob Dole to be our test pilot? Oh my God, Bob Dole, he's a famous, well-respected senator. He's already run for president, and he's old. Ladies and gentlemen, have you seen the look on Bob Dole's face since he's been on this program? This is a happy man. Oh my gosh. He has written books, he's done commercials, he's been on the Today Show, the Tonight Show, he's been on Oprah, he's been on everything. He's at the height of his career. Do you realize that if he was on this pill back in 1996 when he was running for president, he would have been much more qualified to run against Clinton? When I started my speaking business a couple of years ago, I was told the thing you have to do, of course, you got to get a business card. And then you have to get a brochure. So I got this nice brochure made up, and at that time I had a lady do it for me. I wasn't on the computer yet. And we typed this up, and we printed this up on her computer, put some information inside about my stuff, and on the cover we put John Madden and Associates. Boy, I thought that looks good. John Madden and Associates. I sent out hundreds of these all over the place. Didn't get one reply, not a call, nothing. So I thought, I need to find a different way. This is not working. So I called upon my good friend Ford Sakes, who runs Prime Concepts, a marketing company, and I said, Ford, please help me to get this thing right. I don't know what I'm doing here, but obviously I'm getting no response, and I need to get these people in. So he said, John, bring along some stuff that you have, all your package and your information that you send out. Bring it along, and we'll take a look at it. Well, this is all I had, you see. So I gave him this. I said, this is my brochure. Very proud. He took it and he tore it in two. I said, what are you doing? He said, John, as you would say in England, this is a piece of rubbish. It's of no value whatsoever. Do you realize all the paper that people get in the mail? And when they get this, all they see is John Madden Associates. What are you, plumbers? Insurance salesmen? Furniture removers? What are you? He said, what do you do? What is it you are trying to sell here? I said, well, I teach customer service as a speaker. I do seminars and workshops. He said, who's it for? I said, for everybody. Retail companies, manufacturing, government, hospitality, fast food, whatever. He said, and why are you trying to teach them customer service? I said, so that they can increase their customer base, so they can have customers coming back again and again. He said, well, that's it. That's what you're selling. Repeat customers. You see, you are selling a benefit, but you're selling some stuff which is an unknown. Who cares about John Madden Associates? What are they going to do for me? Why don't you put down repeat customers through outstanding customer service? This became my new brochure. So when I gave that to people, we started to get some better results. Each of us has our own stressors. And something that may be very stressful or really bother me may not affect you at all, and vice versa. But also, this is a powerful thing. Most of our stressors are predictable, which means that we can do something about them, which means that we can determine in advance how we will respond, as opposed to always responding in the same way. For instance, let me ask you this. How many people here ever get upset in traffic? Put your hands up. Me too. We all do. I know many of us, we know some of these people who are so calm and collected and professional in the office or around town, but they get in a car, oh, it's a whole different story. It's like the story was told about the little girl. She was being taken to school by her mother. Now, usually her dad drove her to school, but he was out of town. So she's sitting in the car with her mother going through the traffic. She's got her little hands up on the dashboard, and she's looking at all the traffic coming and going. And after a while, she looks at her mother rather quizzically, and she said, Mom, where are all the bastards today? And her mother said, gee, honey, I don't know. I guess they only come out when your dad is driving. I'd like to start off with a statement that somebody once made. They said, in life, a lot of things happen to us along the way. How many people would agree with that? Put your hands up and say, yeah. Yeah. Okay, now the truth is, however, the truth is that we happen to a lot of things along the way. Now let me explain that. Just 2 weeks ago, I was in a restaurant here in town, having lunch. And right across from me, there was a couple there, a husband and wife, also waiting for their lunch. And the waitress came along with a tray of food, all kind of utensils and food on there, and she slipped and fell. And everything just crashed to the ground, run all over the place. How many people have ever seen that happen in a restaurant? stuff fall down. So all this stuff went all over the place, and luckily two of her friends, two of her waitress colleagues, helped her to pick up everything, put it on the tray, and get it back to the kitchen. Now, this was an incident that occurred. So I was watching the two people who were waiting for their lunch to see what kind of a reaction they might have had to this situation. And it's interesting to see how people react, how we react, you know, to different situations. And I heard the lady say, she said, "Oh, that's terrible. The poor girl, she must feel so embarrassed." And the husband said, "Well, if she was watching where she was going, this wouldn't have happened. Damn silly fool, incompetent, wandering around with her head in the skies." Two different, totally different reactions to the same incident. The incident was the tray got fallen, the food was dropped, and these people were both affected because their meal was going to be delayed. But two different reactions. The lady was sympathetic, compassionate, understanding, but the man was critical, arrogant, pompous, upset. So it brings home to us the message, folks, that it's not what happens to us in life that causes the problem, it's how we see it. It's not what happens to us in life that will determine our success or our failure, it's what we do about it. And what we do about it will be determined by how we feel about it. And how we feel about it will be determined by what we think about it. And what we think about it is a choice that we make. We choose to think what we think. How many people here ever had a blind date at all in your life? Put your hands up. We've all had that. I had one many years ago in London. It really bothered my wife at the time, I got to tell you that. No, that's a joke. I was actually single. I never could get the girls when I was a younger man. You know, I was a freckle-faced, red-headed guy, and I was very short, which I still am. So anyway, I was always getting set up on blind dates. And this fella came to me one day, he said, "John, here's Sheila's phone number. She's gorgeous, and she's dying to meet you, and you'll have a wonderful time with her." So I called her on the phone, and she sounded really nice. We arranged to meet outside the Talk of the Town in London. How many people have been to London? You know where the Talk of the Town is in Leicester Square? So I got there. In those days, you dressed up in a suit and tie, and I was looking very spiffy, had a cigarette, and I'm walking up and down, looking like a miniature Clark Gable, you know. Very, very cool, you know, yes. Very suave. But 5 minutes later, nobody turned up. 10 minutes, nobody was there. 15 minutes, I thought, well, I better wait for my full 20 minutes. And finally, this vision of a girl stepped onto the sidewalk. Oh my God, I thought, this is Sheila. But she was beautiful. She was more beautiful than I imagined. I was so nervous, I was like this. I went up to her, I said, "Excuse me, are you Sheila?" She said, "Are you John?" I said, "Yes." She said, "I'm not Sheila."
For more information on this program or to book John Madden for your next event, please call the number on this cassette.